Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and today I'm joined by Angel.
Hello.
We are wrapping up our holiday arc of Port Charles. Miracles happen with the final week 4. Yeah, kind of a lot to get into, so I will roll the
Yeah.
credits and we'll jump right into it.
Okay. I don't know why I said okay.
So I found myself, it was only 5 episodes. Well, it was a
Mhm.
week. I found myself smiling a lot. I think I even laughed out loud, literally, at some
Mhm.
points. So we pick up with Kevin asking Lucy to just trust him and their love and to marry him.
Mhm.
Um, we got to see everybody's, anticipation, which reminded me of how great everybody looked at this wedding.
Mhm.
um, and she agrees to. Um, she wears the dress that she's wearing, which
Mhm.
looks
Which
like
was already wedding dress.
right. They go to her bridal suite, I guess. Livy
Mhm.
and Serena take her there, and there's a box and it has a veil in it and a train for her dress.
Mhm.
It was really funny because it was either Serena or Livy that was like, "Oh, the universe," and even Lucy was like, "Yeah, the universe." Like that's their go-to for everything for her, just to get her to accept things. Like, "Oh,
Yeah,
the
it's just the
universe,"
universe. Yep.
and she's like, "Oh yeah." I thought it was really cute that Victor was like, "Oh, I could be your something old. I could walk you down the aisle."
Kyle. Oh,
That was
Victor.
cute.
That goes along with like the joke that they made, like, no, Victor. What do you mean?
Yes, we could
Last
marry
time,
me,
yeah.
you no Victor. Um, so Rafe is preparing to leave because he's pretty much done all his good deeds. He's gotten all the
Mhm.
couples back together, which is making Allison very sad. Um, he stays for the wedding because he's actually at
Yeah.
the reception. So the
Well,
wedding
because it
happens.
wasn't midnight yet. He leaves at midnight.
He leaves at midnight. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like Cinderella.
Yeah, he's a male Cinderella, yes.
The fella.
Cinderfella.
um, so the wedding happens. Kevin has one more surprise when they ask for the rings, and it's her flower girl, and she turns around to see little baby Christina walking down the aisle.
No.
And we officially find out that it was Julie that he's been
Mhm.
seeing in secret. Um, Chris is with Julie. He knows her situation, and he's
Well, first of all, he keeps getting calls from Julie,
Mhm.
and, so I'm a millennial, and we do this. So, he keeps getting calls from Julie, she doesn't answer, she doesn't, like she calls him, but she doesn't say anything. He goes to get the call log from the like, he basically, like, forces the guy to get the call log to find out that, um, Julie's been calling him, goes up to the room, and he sees her.
which
I know.
confused me, this whole call log thing, because if he just got the call, that was like a hard copy printed or maybe even written down call log, and it's
Mhm.
already out. I mean, but whatever, I just went with it, and he saw that his number was on
Yeah, but she was calling him a few times. Like, we didn't cover it the last time. She like called him like one time in the last
okay,
episodes. Yeah.
okay, so I guess that makes sense, but I just thought it was funny that they have a
Yeah,
call
I thought it was funny too.
log. I'm like, they could just at this point, they would just look it up on the screen or whatever, not have a
Mhm.
book. Um, yeah, and that's when he finds Julie. Um, I guess his, like, all roads lead back to Julie, huh? As far as his, like, obsession with women,
Well, not
the way he
really.
acts.
Not
No?
really, because the first person we see in the pilot was not Julie, that he slept with was not Julie. He just has an issue with women.
Oh, okay.
He overall has issues with women. He'll just sleep with them, leave them. If he doesn't care for them, if he cares for them, he goes all in. So,
Right. I know everybody was purple lighted, but the whole time the wedding was happening, I was just like, "Okay, so, we're just never gonna talk about the fact that her and Ian slept together again.
I guess not.
Like, even when Ian came to see her while she was getting ready to walk down the aisle, I was like, we're just gonna drop this. Eve's gonna let this go. All right, she's better than me. I wasn't purple-lighted.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the wedding goes off without a hitch. It's very nice. I thought it was really sweet that Lucy was like, let's have all our daughters up here. So that was cute. Yeah, and so now they're married, finally.
Fine.
Lucy mentioned later on to Christina that they have a duck named Sigmund who has his own family. And all I kept thinking, because my only reference for this was that one Thanksgiving Sigmund ran away and he had a girlfriend, and I'm like, is it with this duck? Like, now I'm invested in Sigmund's like love life. Like, I want to know what
Yeah. a lot of work for a duck that started out almost getting baked.
Right. I love that it's a running thread though. Did she always say ta even on General Hospital? Was that always like her thing?
You know what? My first reference to Lucy was Port Charles, so I'm not 100% sure. So Karen might know. I know I keep bringing Karen up a lot,
but yeah. So the first two episodes pretty much centered around the wedding. We didn't see Jamal or Valerie. They're in Chicago waiting for a liver transplant. Kidney transplant. Which I'm also questioning because like Gabby's a full-grown adult. And this is like a 3 or 4 year old, maybe, even if that even makes sense. Like, is that even like physically possible to do?
Yeah. Okay. I thought about it, but then I was kind of like, okay, I suspended disbelief. But I'm like, but now that you bring it up, I'm like, is there going to take part of the kidney, like, or liver, or like?
It's the kidney. In my head, I said liver because then I was like, maybe they'll just take part of it and it'll regenerate and all that stuff. But no, she said kidney. And I was like, well,
kidney. Okay.
I don't know about that. So I'm like, whatever, just percolate it and we'll just call it a day.
Yes. Boom.
For anything we don't understand, percolate.
Yep.
So Allison and Rafe have to say goodbye, but she says there's just so many things she still wants to tell him, and before she could even say anything, he just kind of like fades away.
And fade away.
And she's like fighting back tears, and she goes inside and sees how happy everybody is, and she's like, you did it, Rafe, and she starts crying again. She looks so beautiful. I remember that I liked them. I remember this.
Yeah, I like them too, which is a shame because I really want Jamal to be with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And not Valerie. I don't like Valerie.
Oh, no. That bitch. So
yeah.
When Allison called and she picked up and she was like, stop calling us, like we're in the middle of something, I was like, bitch. Okay, I'll show up then. And then I was so happy when Allison
was like, okay, I'll show up. All right.
So I was so happy when Allison was packing to go there. I was like, that's right, you go there. That's what you do. You go there.
Activated. Punch her in the face. She deserves it.
Tell me stop calling, bitch.
So stop calling. That's my boyfriend, bitch.
So yeah, so I'm glad. And I liked when Jamal called her back later on in the week because he didn't know that she fell and hit her head and was bleeding.
Yeah.
Went to the hospital, but he called her, left her a voicemail, and he was like, come on, spunky girl. I was like, oh. I was like, I'm gonna miss this when they're not together, and I don't know why. Yeah. But did not realize Ricky was gonna pop up in this.
Yeah, me neither.
I was like, Ricky, what are you doing?
I thought he appears in Secrets, but nope. Obviously, he appears the end of. I guess with new characters, they do, if they want to keep them long term, they have them in they have them at like somewhere in another arc, and then kind of makes the other arc about them, sort of, kind of. I don't know.
Because I knew who he was. I'm like, oh, Gabby's older brother, but they didn't actually say that till the end. I guess that was like the reveal, and I was like, why are we shocked? But it's because because I know already.
I like that he calls her Gigi.
Yeah. So remember last time when we were talking about two different people, I was talking about Ricky, but I was calling him Rafe, I think, and then you were talking about Brian Gaskell, and I was actually in my head thinking of this actor.
Yeah.
Anyway, I looked him up because remember I was like, I think he was on Bold, whatever. He was on Bold before this.
Oh,
Yeah, in 2001, just 2001. So I don't know what
who
he
did he
was.
play? Did you get the character's name?
I gotta pull it up again. But so he did a few soaps. So he did Bold and Beautiful. Then he did this. Then it said he was on General Hospital for like a year. It looked like from like 6 to 7. It looked like, and then it was All My Children toward the
Who
end.
did he play in All My Children? Hold on.
It's Eddie
Eddie
Massos.
Mantos?
Yeah,
Yeah.
here he is. Roles. Okay, so on Bold and the Beautiful, he was Charlie Espinada.
I'm trying to remember who that is.
It just says 2001, so it was literally right before this, probably.
Yeah.
Poor Charles, Ricky Garza from 2001, which now to 2003. General Hospital, Pete Marquez from 2006 to 7.
That's
And,
probably like a minor character in that in
and then
GH.
all my children, Reverend Ricky Torres from 2010 to 11, so probably the end.
Okay, I think I kind of remember Ricky Torres.
I
Okay,
think I do too, because I think I remember him wearing a collar.
yeah,
Not that I really watched it regularly, but in my head, I think I just like lumped him in with Jordi Villasuso's character.
yeah, because I thought it was. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was Jordi Villasuso's character, but I thought it was like I thought this would have been around the time Kara came back, right? No, I don't think so.
On All My Children.
All My Children, because remember Kara was Carolyn,
Oh, I
and then
don't
she
know.
came back as
I
Lindsay
wasn't watching. I was just kind of like,
Hartley.
I wasn't watching, so I don't know story. I was just kind of like glancing to see who was on the show.
Yeah.
Because I know like Lindsay Hartley was on at that time for the last year, and then she went on to the reboot. But yeah, so that I knew I saw him in soaps. I knew he popped up around
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Because I knew him as Ricky, I was like, oh, that was my thing. Oh, it's Ricky, it's Ricky, it's Ricky. But anyway, he made his appearance, which was a shock. Liam, I think he like called Eve woman.
Woman.
When they were talking about like making it work, it sounded like he was just like, what are you doing, woman? Like I was just like, yeah, did you just say that? When she was talking about them moving forward and like making it work and being happy, like Lucy and Kevin. I just thought that was funny. Oh, what was there? There was another mark. Oh, so Kevin explains to Lucy about Julie. And they're going to see Julie so that she could say goodbye to Christina. And they're outside, and Lucy's like having second thoughts. She doesn't know. She's afraid that what if Julie like changes her mind, or this is a trap or a trick or a game. And Kevin tries to assure her to just like trust. And she goes on one of her rants. And then she finally just circles back to, all right, let's go inside. And I loved Kevin. He was just like, you always get there in your own way. Chris is like adamant that like he doesn't want them there, but Julie wants to see them. Lucy wants to talk to Julie alone. So the guys go outside. Kevin says that he's sorry to Chris, and Chris is like, you're not sorry. He's like, he's like, you got everything you wanted. He's like, you got Lucy, and now you have her daughter, and Julie's dying, and he leaves.
Which, by the way, Rafe goes back to heaven. He's not acting the way he acted the last episode.
What do you mean?
Remember when he had the truth spell on him?
Yes, I was wondering how long that was going to last.
Yeah, because he said it's gonna expire when he goes to heaven. So he's back in heaven, and Chris is back to his normal self.
That makes sense. Because I was like, okay, did it just wear off? Like, what happened? Um, but yeah, like I mentioned before, Allison is going to Chicago, but she slips and falls and hits her head.
Oh,
Livy
nice.
on ice. Livy and Jack find her. She just says she's okay, but her head's bleeding. Ends up in the hospital. Livy and Jack want to stay with her, but it's New Year's Eve, and she tells them to go and that she'll be fine. She can't get a hold of Jamal, and she hopes that he'll call her. He does. I guess she has bad reception because that's when he leaves the voicemail calling her Spunky Girl, apologizing for being like, dismissive with her. But he was dealing with Ricky, not knowing who he was, because Ricky does not want Gabby to have this operation, the transplant.
Or I think also he doesn't want to admit that like Jamal's like her natural brother.
That, and also Ricky just got out of jail.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, not
Ricky,
that I could have found that out. He's like, she's like, I thought you were in jail or whatever. Yeah, so there's all that, but Gabby's all like, no, like pretty much like, it's my kidney. You don't have a say, I do. So they have the operation, and I guess everybody's in recovery right now. So this is where I laughed out loud. So the fireworks going off because I assume it's midnight now. And Allison looks outside, and it's like this quick, like cut, and it's like this almost like expedited music video from Miracle.
Yes!
And I was just like, "What is that? This is so cheesy," but I loved it.
This is okay. I think this music video made me just admit that I just don't like Brady and Chloe. So because I was like, oh, this is so cheesy, I love it. And then I'm like, and then when Philip and Chloe sing, it's like, I hate this so much.
Brady and Chloe.
I mean, as a couple, like I love when Chloe sings.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan of Philip when he sings, but when they both sing, it's irritating.
Brady, not Philip. Brady.
I'm sorry, Brady. I'm thinking of I don't know what I think every time I think of Brady, I think of the guy who plays Philip now.
Oh, John Lavoisier.
Yeah, JP Lavoisier. He goes with JP now. So yeah, I don't know why I don't know why I have that correlation. He never played Brady. Whatever. Back to Port Charles.
But yeah, it was so cheesy. I was like, this is happening right now.
I think what I would have liked better is if she played at the wedding. If she played,
that would have made more sense instead of having her being all around town, just like performing in front of all these couples.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what couple was in the car. I think it was Frank and Karen.
Frank and Karen were in the car.
Okay, they were making out in the car. I loved when Jack swung Livy around.
Well, I was going to say Jack and Livy were like on the swing on the porch in their new house that they could afford, even though they didn't save any money. But
yeah. Okay, but I love when he swung her around. That was really good.
But they're on the porch, kissy, lovey, and she's just like in front of the porch singing, and I'm like.
And then Kevin and Lucy are with Christina.
And Yin and Eve are together. Yeah, everybody's just like watching this fireworks show, I guess.
Yeah.
But prior to this happening, we in heaven. I keep wanting to call it purgatory, but it's not purgatory. Jed Allen.
Purgatory, or is it Jed Allen's heaven?
I feel like it's not officially heaven. Like it's somewhere in between, but it's not purgatory.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just
I don't know what denomination this is.
Angel headquarters.
Heaven headquarters.
So
Mark.
Reeve says that he wants to make a deal with Jed Allen, and we don't see what the deal is. But after miracles happens, ends like the performance. We see Rafe behind Allison, and there's this big flashlight,
big bright white light. Yeah,
and I guess we kind of assume at first, because if we didn't know, but we do. And then Allison turns around and sees him, that the flashing light was him coming back, because she's like, "You're back. Was that you?" And he's like, "No, that wasn't me."
So I never saw this before.
So now we have like this ominous music that something else is coming. Meteors, maybe? I don't know. I remember thinking that these were aliens.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if they are or not.
No. I think they're angels.
More angels?
I think the three people are angels. I think if I remember correctly, when they're angels, because I remember what happens with. I remember there was something that happened. There was a flashback with Joey Bisco's character.
Okay.
Who, by the way, we're spoiling this because they're already in the credits.
Were they?
They're already in the closing credits, yeah.
Oh,
like
wow.
if you pause, like, wait, why are these three people here? I was like, why is Joey Bisco here? I didn't see her in this episode.
Probably because they aired that week.
Yeah. Oh, right. Because it would have been that Thursday and Friday, right?
Yeah, because this was Monday. Tuesday was New Year's Day, I'm assuming. And then we were right. It was a half a week because it said Wednesday.
Yeah.
Before Charles Secrets. So yeah, it was a 3-episode first week for them. Hearing the like my baby's got a secret and like for the
yes.
I was like, oh, this is gonna make me want to watch it.
Was glad. I went and I watched the so somebody, I think the Port Charles Explosion, which is the YouTube channel, did like the whole promos to get like the whole like a long promo with that had like the first half of the song Secrets.
Okay.
And it went so well with it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this arc. I don't know. I feel like I'll be disappointed, just like tempted, but but I don't know. I like Joey Bisco a lot. I'm glad they kept her on, but I didn't like what they did with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I like then I like they reverted it.
I remember her being on Days after this, and I just kept saying, "Oh, I never remember her character. I just called her Joey Bisco, like her real name." But yeah, so all the couples are back together except for Rafe and Allison.
No, Jamal and Allison.
Jamal and Allison, but Rafe and Allison are physically together.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for Julie, I guess. She's gone. She's gonna go away and die.
Yeah, she's gonna go away and die.
Chris doesn't go with her, like to like
nope.
be with her, so she's
Julie was like, no, let me go by myself. Which would have been the option. That would have been the option because they almost do nothing with Chris after this, I believe.
They should have done that.
They should have done that, yeah. Because then that would have tied a nice bow into the pre-arcs. Been like, okay, Chris just goes away. Julie died. We find out from Jack that Julie dies, and he just chooses not to come back to Port Charles.
Right. Scott appeared. Was not expecting.
Nice, Scott. Hi. And then there was this element that I forgot. I had been saying that Christina's father was Chris, completely forgetting that Julie and Frank were together. Frank is the father.
Right. That whole their three father thing. I was like, okay,
yeah, because
yeah,
because Scott is the official adoptive father.
Okay.
Frank is the biological father, and I guess whatchamacallit, Kevin is going to be the stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the stepfather now, so.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, is this going to be an issue in Secrets? Are they all going to be like trying to get a piece of Christina, even though they said they were going to play nice? Yeah, because even Frank made a point of saying, I gave up my parental rights or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that reminded me that he had a drug problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was sweet, like Serena being like, "Oh, I'm gonna play with my sister," and Karen was there. I was like, "Oh, the sisters, nice."
Yeah.
I kind of wish Livy was there too.
Yeah, she was too busy swinging around the porch with and helping Allison
in her new house that I don't know how they afford. I'm never gonna let this go.
Look, me neither. No, because going into a little bit of real life, like everybody, like I feel like everybody this year was like saying to me, Angel, you should get a house. Angel, you should get a house. So that there's like a real life situation happening with my grandmother, and the house is actually, just sitting there. And they're like, yeah, it's like just sitting there. It's like, you should get a house. I'm like, first of all,
can't just get
that. Yeah, first of all, I don't make that much a month. I don't know why people think I make that much a month, but I don't make that much a month. Second of all, I rent this house right now where I live.
Mm-hmm.
I can have maintenance people come over if something breaks. You can't do that with a house.
Yeah, it is a lot of.
Third of all, the house that my grandmother was at needs a lot done, and I can't afford that.
Right.
Like, oh well, you could just take out a loan. Like, you actually think I'm going to take out a loan? You really think that's going to
Put
happen?
more and put yourself in more debt.
Put
Yes.
myself in more debt than I'm already in. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Yeah. That's why I was like, oh, I guess it was just so much simpler. 25, 24, 20. Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah,
24
about 20
years
years
ago.
ago. A little more than
Oh,
20
that
years
hurts.
ago.
That hurts so
No,
much.
24 years. No, 23 years ago.
That hurts so much because I remember
Oh, I hate
watching
this. No, 24, 23. I don't know. It is. Time is happening.
happening. Yes, too fast.
Oh my gosh, because you would think, because like these shows that we've been watching, like the 2000 shows, are
Mhm.
so modern.
Yeah, and I
With like maybe
remember
a little bit of,
watching them, like
yeah, it's
some of
like,
them.
yeah, they're so modern. Like you think that they're like, oh, they have, until you look at the little things like, oh, they don't have cell phones, or they do
Yeah,
have cell phones, but they're like the flip phones.
yeah, they're not
Uh
smartphones.
or like their computer technology is not as high end as ours is now. Like, it's just the
Right.
teeny tiny little things. But other than that, like, everything is great.
Yeah.
Like, you can just watch it and think like, oh, this is like, this could happen now.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, in the early 2000s, you still have those comments like, "Not everybody has a cell phone." I'm like, give it time.
Give it time.
Give it a couple more years.
Yeah,
Like, I
I had a
remember, like, Sean Brady getting a cell phone for his 16th birthday, and it was, like, this
yeah.
big deal.
Yeah, I got a
Um,
cell phone because I was tired of using the payphone at school to call my grandmother home.
I think I got a cell phone for my 16th.
Well, then it was also because like my ex friends at the time, which they're now my friends, talked about getting a cell phone. And I was like, oh hell no! And then I got my grandmother to get me one for Christmas.
That was back before, like, everything was included. I remember
Yes,
a
the
couple of
anytime
times
minutes.
I ran up, like, a $300 text message bill. I got in so much trouble.
Oh, me too.
But anything else to add on this arc before we wrap it up? Oh,
There
we have
was
to rank
something
them.
else.
We have to rank
We
them.
gotta rank them, but I think there was something else too. No, no, actually there wasn't. No, because you covered the fathers. You covered Chris wanting to take him and Christina and Julia and leave town, but that didn't
Mhm.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. So let's
Yeah.
rank them.
It was a nice week. I liked it. It was I felt very, like, warm and nice. Um, alright, so if we're going from my favorite to least favorite, Tainted Love is still number 1.
Mine too.
Fate is number 2 for me. Miracles Happen is number 3 for me. Time in a Bottle is number 4, and Tempted is number 5.
Yeah, Tempted's number 5 for me. The other, so like Time in a Bottle, I would push down to 3.
Okay.
And put Miracles Happen below Fate. I mean, below Tainted Love. So that
So
so Miracles Happen would be number 2 for me. Time in a Bottle would be 3. Actually, Fate would be 4, and Tempted would be 5. No, that doesn't make sense. I think so. It's not that I don't like Fate. It's
Mhm.
just that the other ones are better. The other ones were a little better.
Yeah,
So I did like Fate a lot.
I did too.
Yeah.
That's why it's number 2 for me. But I did like Miracles Happen more than I thought I would. Was really disappointed in Tempted.
Hmm.
And I liked, Time in a Bottle more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I like Time in the Bottom more than I thought I would too.
Alright, cool. Well, thank you for joining us for our holiday edition of Port Charles, Miracles Happen. We're gonna be taking a little bit of break from the arc so that we can focus more on not General Hospital,
Guiding Light.
Guiding Light, because we've been neglecting that show a lot.
Yeah, we need to give Guiding Light some love.
Yeah.
We're at the party and we need to get through that party.
Yeah. So we're gonna be, like, doubling down on Guiding Light, and then eventually we'll circle back to Secrets.
Hmm.
As always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great night. Bye.
Bye.